Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hope you all are doing very well. This video contains both instructive and educational content that is shareable and easy to retain. So, without wasting our time, let's start the video. The topic of this video is wastewater microbiology. In this, we will discuss the introduction, types of sewage, composition, characteristics, objectives, collection, properties, sewage treatment, and its conclusion. First of all, introduction. Sewage is the wastewater of a community. Wastewater is any water that has been affected by human use. Second is types of sewage. There are two main types. First is domestic sewage and the second is industrial sewage. There is a considerable variation in these two types, so every type needs a different discussion. First is domestic sewage. It is composed of human waste, that is feces, urine, and wastewaters resulting from personal washing, food preparation, laundry, and the washing of kitchen utensils. Approximate analysis of human feces and urine are given. As you can see in the given table, the moisture content in the feces is 66 to 80%, while in the urine it is 93 to 96%. The nitrogen content in the feces is 5 to 7%, while in urine it is 15 to 19%. Then comes carbon. Carbon is 44 to 55% in feces, while in urine it is just 11 to 17%. Calcium, it is present as calcium peroxide and it is present in a minute quantity, that is just 4.5% in feces, while in urine it is 4.5 to 6%. Then comes industrial sewage. It contains both organic and inorganic compounds. The nature and amount of these compounds depend upon the type of the product that a factory produces and also the nature of the process involved in it. For example, organic compounds are discharged by sugar factories, paper mills, creameries, slaughterhouses, etc., while the inorganic substances are added by mines and metal industries that maybe comes from acids and metals that are attached in the salts. Next is composition of sewage. We have to know that what are the contents of the sewage. Sewage basically composed of two main contents, that is water and solid. Water is in majority while the solids are just in minute quantity. As you can see, the solids are further divided into organic and inorganic substances that we have discussed earlier. Next comes characteristic of sewage. Organic matter in the sewage serves as food for microorganisms. As we all know, the microorganisms are those organisms that feed on the dead organic matter or the waste particles that excreted from human bodies. These microorganisms oxidize the waste and this requires oxygen supply. This may be represented by the following general equation. That is organic matter of sewage plus oxygen, treated sewage plus new microorganisms. This reaction undergoes by microorganisms. Then comes BOD, that is biological oxygen demand. The amount of oxygen required for the oxidation of the organic matter of the sewage by microorganisms is called biological oxygen demand. There exists a gradient for the requirement of oxygen depending upon the amount of organic matter in the sewage. Next comes COD, that is chemical oxygen demand. There is an alternate test for measuring the load of organic matter in the sewage, and that is chemical oxygen demand test. COD is determined by oxidizing the waste organic matter with a boiling acid dichromate solution. COD measurements are made very quickly. Next is objectives of sewage treatment. Sewage cannot be disposed of without proper treatment. However, many communities and municipalities dump improperly treated sewage into natural bodies of water. that may be lakes, rivers, and streams. Sewage should be adequately treated before its ultimate disposal in a receiving watercourse in order to reduce the spread of pathogenic microorganisms that may harm the fishes and also human beings as water recycles itself, prevent the pollution of ground and surface water so that the water living organisms may save. Next, prevent the contamination of oysters. Oysters and fisheries that are intake by human. Maintain the oxygen balance. Next is collection of sewage. Sewage is conveyed through pipes known as sewers from its place of production to its place of treatment and disposal. There are three types of sewage system. They are as under. First is sanitary sewers. Second is storm sewers. The first one is sanitary sewers. These sewers carry only domestic and industrial sewage, while the storm sewers, they are meant for dumping storm and surface water that may be in the result of heavy floods and heavy rains, as you can see in the following diagram. Next is combined sewers. These are designed to carry all the sewage through a single system of sewers. It contains both sanitary stormwater and other sewers. As you can see in the diagram shows the yellow one is sanitary sewers and the blue one is stormwater sewers. Next is sewage treatment method. There are many different methods available for the treatment of raw sewage. The collection of the method requires many factors to be considered. First one is the quantity and nature of the raw sewage. Second one is the cost of the plant and its operation, that it should be in affordable ranges. Third one is sanitary requirements by state health department, that it should not harm the environment or human beings that are living nearby. Next is single dwelling units, that is septic tanks. They are small rectangular chamber. They are usually sited just below the ground level. Two purposes are served by such tanks, namely sedimentation as well as biodegradation of the sediment sludge. Biodegradation, we have discussed this earlier. Now you can see the diagram in this video. This has two compartments, first and second. There is an inlet baffle and outlet baffle. From inlet baffle, the sewage is entered in this, and after this, the outlet baffle allow it to exit. Next is municipal sewage treatment method. Municipal raw sewage passes through three major steps before its disposal. The nature of treatment in each step is a unique property of respective operations. The different serial operation in modern municipal sewage. First is primary treatment. Raw sewage contains two types of solid material. First is coarse solid material and second one is settleable solid material. Now, secondary treatment. The liquid portion effluent resulting from primary treatment operations still contains some small amount of solids and soluble processable matter. In other words, the effluent is highly unstable and therefore cannot be dumped into a natural body of water without stabilization. So, this reaction undergoes. Unstable matter is converted into stabilized matter under some conditions. There are different methods employed in the secondary treatment. They are biofiltration, and biofiltration is further divided into intermittent sand filters, trickling filters, and contact filters. Now, the aeration by the activated sludge process, and third one is lagoons. Now we will discuss trickling effects. The trickling filter has been designed on the basis of experiments carried out at the Lawrence Experiment Station in 1894. The following equation shows settled sewage plus oxygen converted it to oxidized effluent plus new bacteria cells. This is the trickling filter plant that converts the settled sewage plus oxygen into oxidized sewage so that it can disposed of easily. Now, activated sludge process. This process was developed in 1912 at the Lawrence Experiment Station. The process is based on vigorous aeration of sewage. This practice of vigorous aeration causes the finer particles to clump into flocks. This is the diagram of the sludge drying bed. It has gravel, it has pipes, drains, slope, sands. This is the sludge channel, and this is basically a sludge. Now, lagoons. Lagoons are also known as oxidation ponds or stabilization ponds. Lagoonization is now being practiced by a large number of smaller communities in the Middle West. Here is a symbiosis of algae and bacteria in lagoons. As you can see, sunlight affected the microalgae. Here are some new cells that oxidize in the presence of oxygen. Air also adds some organics plus oxygen. Here is the bacterial cell that made new cells, and it undergoes a reaction that produces carbon dioxide and nitrate. Next is final treatment. The organic matter remaining after sludge digestion is stabilized, and it is not easily decomposed further. It is black and without any appreciable odors. Stabilized sludge may be dried and solid as filter. Thank you. This is the end of my video. Please like, subscribe and share.